again, for the fourth or fifth time, it's not the people that you don't fire in a business that kill you. It's the people that you don't fire. Excuse me, not the people you do fire. Okay, questions, comments about. She's a terrific gal at the hardcore when the deal didn't close. I thought that she thought she had a miscarriage. I mean, she was really, because she bring the deal to hardcore to show everybody, and then it fell to shit. I'm laughing, but it's not funny at all. Believe me, I've been there. Okay, comments about the Viking bitch. Yes, sir.
She mentioned that she's going to be buying her own business under her holding.
Okay, good point. That was the fifth thing I wanted to mention. Some of you in this room have a little chicken shit business, or maybe not so little chicken shit business. And depending on what you're going to roll up, your first acquisition should be you. Now, I'll explain that in more detail because it affects 2 or 3 of you. You got a business that's 5 or 10 million or whatever it is, okay? And it makes money. And it's in a related or almost the same field you're gonna roll up. The 3 things happen when you buy, your first acquisition is you. Well, number 1, you get liquid. You're able to, you can do partial seller finance, partial bank finance, like we talked about. The commercial money, commercial debt that you're gonna put on the deal, most of it's gonna go to you. If not all of it's gonna go to you. You're picking the sales price. Listen to this, Markus. You're picking the sales price, overinflated fucking sales price that no white, black, or purple man would ever give you for this shithole business you've got. And you're pulling out cash legally to put in your pocket. And now you got one deal done. It's better than, well, nothing's better than taking candy from a baby, in my opinion, but it's better than that. But what Anelli decided to do, he would still be tied to the business. He decided to sell his business to his employees, which he still, with the greatest respect, kid, sold it for more than it was worth. It's, you know how pinball, well, we've got a pinball machine. Pinball machine, when you pull back the thing and then the ball goes out, and almost everything it hits, it lights up and you get points. They still make them like that? Okay. Well, that's buying your own business. It's 100% legal. It's a thing of beauty. And it solves a lot of problems for all the shit you put in there. All the things you wish you hadn't done and did. All the companies or assets you bought that you shouldn't have. Okay, that's what she's talking about. So, like, you understand? But she's talking about it as a little teeny business. But I don't know if this is the tape. She said the guy wanted 840. She gave him 50. Is this the? Did you hear that? He wanted $800 and some thousand for the business. Her first offer was 40, and she settled on 50. I would have had him pay me. And he probably would have. But she was so nervous making that offer. I've seen a lot more embarrassing offers than that. Paid him 50. And then in the first 2 or 3 months, or first month, or first day, I forget what it is, she got it up to $500,000 in cash flow. And this is all legit. And this is what I say the big guys, the professionals like myself. And the professionals don't consider me a professional. You know why? Because I'm telling you how we do it. I'm on the outside. These guys wouldn't piss on my face if it was on fire. The guys, they wouldn't. Because I'm telling you how to do it. And so now I'm not in the circle anymore. I'm not in that M&A golden fucking circle I was when I came out of Bear Stearns. Because I'm telling you. And that's why Donald Trump in 1993 at the MGM Hotel, this has been on YouTube a jillion times, I'm going up to the grand opening of the MGM. I have my son's hands, I'm holding their hands, and Donald has a thing about germs. So it killed him to be shaking hands with all these people. And he gets in the elevator with a couple of his bodyguards, and I get in the elevator, and he looks across the elevator and says, Dan, I hear you're trying to teach stupid people how to get rich. my 2 kids looking for me. I said, yeah, done. Because we're not telling you how to go find we are telling you how to find the Holy Grail, but it's not magic. The guys have been doing this for, not thousands of years, that'd be a lie, but for sure hundreds of years. So now I'm not considered one of the, who's got an inner circle or a platinum, that shit that they sell on internet scum. I'm not in the inner circle anymore of the guys because I'm telling you how to do this. You'll see, at least 10, 20 times a year, guys will buy their own assets. But because it's not in their name, you don't recognize that they're selling their own asset. That's it. And then I'm going to tell you later how you take people's assets away that they don't want to sell them to you. Happens all the time. If you have debt of any sort, I can take your assets away. I can take your assets away. And a couple of people in the 28 years pissed me off enough that I wish I had it, but I didn't. Because that would be unprofessional because you show me all these numbers, but that's confidential information. But we've got a couple of students in the last 2 or 3 years that are taking people's assets away. They're not for sale because they went back and found them. The guy fucked them 15 years ago. And it's easy peasy. It's like taking a shit in the morning. And that's what the big guys do all the time. That's why you piss the big guys off. You better learn to dance or mambo or something because they can and will, in some cases, come after you. Okay, so that's what she's talking about. Buying. Now, you had a question, sir.
Mr. Pena, could you clarify what she meant by LLCs can't purchase it?
That's bullshit. She's talking shit. She read a book or she listened to a blog. That's crap. That's not true. That's not true. Now, in America, there's several different ways: S Corps, C Corps, LLCs, limited liability partnerships. There's all kind of different ways that you can buy assets. But what we want to do, we would rather do, is buy assets free of any liabilities, past, current, or future. Just buy the assets that are producing the income. But in the healthcare deal, there's licenses associated with, so you normally have to buy the shares, the company that owns those assets, and then the licenses transfer very easily. But she's talking crap. She had too much hairspray in her brain or something. I don't know. Yeah. And a lot of the things the kids say are just because they really don't know. There's about 25 to 30 sentences that you have in your templates, scripts. And if you memorize those 25, and not knowing what they mean, you can get rich. You don't have to know what they mean even. We're like a politician. You know how when you hear a politician, the news reporter asks him X and the answer is Y. Asks him B and the answer is Y. We have 6 answers. That's all we have is 6 answers to no matter how many questions they ask us. That's it. 6 answers. That's it. You don't have to know anymore. And the autistic and Asperger kids, they got that shit down pat. You don't even, and there's 3 things. One, I told you, where do you get the money? Who's got the skin in the game? It's hard for you to get over that. And especially when you're recruiting the board members. But once you get over that, the second thing is when the time frame, and in this country, in America, nobody gives a shit about time frame. Nobody asks whether it's 300 hours a month or 5 hours a year. They don't ask that. In this country, you got a script for that, no problem. But you'll be challenged when you get over the fact that there's no money required and you can buy it with their own money, because seller finance is you're buying the guy or the gal's deal with their money. Their money. Why would that happen? intellectually you're filtering through. And the 12 and 13-year guys, deals, both couldn't get over that. Could not get over that hurdle until they came to the hardcore and they saw, well, there's other Nazis and fucking black people and China, and then they figured out it's not important whether, remember, it's not why. It's just how, and the words work. You can't help yourself. You were born to be poor because you're stupid, your parents were stupid, bad DNA. And this is without much inbreeding even. I got inbreeding mentees from the hollers of Kentucky that are worse. And you wonder why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And as Donald said in his infinite wisdom, hey Dan, I hear you're trying to make poor people rich. So I'm not telling you anything new. This 1,000% of what you've heard so far, with one or two exceptions, has been free information for at least 100 years. So I'd ask, if I were you, and I'm not you, God, thank God, why you don't know. And the two reasons, I'm getting ahead of myself, I'm getting revved up like the clothes the last afternoon. Two reasons that you are where you are, you don't know what you don't know, and you did the best you could for raising kids, getting a wife, and all that shit. But those two things, those two dogs don't hunt. You don't know what you don't know, and you did the best you could. That's the excuse everybody gives. From your parents, grandpa, but those dogs don't hunt. Because now with the internet, there's no reason not to know. The only good thing about net scum internet is everything I've ever told you here is online. If you were really interested in pulling yourself out of the debris that you are currently in, you could have found out. Some people come here just to verify because they want to hear me say it with my lips, even though they've heard it on YouTube. There's a couple of you in here that researched me for a few months just to find out if it was really bullshit or not, which I find somewhat amusing. Andreas, 5 years researching. 5 fucking years. And there's no reason, as he showed, 50 million euro evaluation, there's no reason that anybody in this room can't have a 50 million value, whatever you roll up, in 2 years, 24 months. There's no reason whatsoever, unless you're lazy or you're Greek or you're Italian or, In some of the countries that works not the best are Greece, Italy, Spain's kind of wishy-washy, France is wishy-washy, and Portugal is wishy-washy. Other than that, you can crush them in Europe. Oh, and Ukraine and Russia, where they'll just take the deal, steal from you, and might put a bullet in your head at the same time. Any questions about the Viking bitch? Yes, sir, in the back.
She mentioned about sweeping the accounts.
Oh. She went to the hardcore when Dan Locke, one of my mentees, went to the hardcore, and he checks and sweeps cash twice a day. Not once a day, twice a day. Because he has, 1,500 sources of revenue that come in. And I make fun, it's not really true, but I make fun because almost everybody that does business with Dan, it's not true, I'm exaggerating Dan, is Asian. But that's where the world is. That's where the world is. Okay, sweep the accounts. You look at your accounts because depending on how many sources of income, revenue you have, it's very easy. And depending on how many people have passwords, some guys, and you can't, I'm gonna tell people here, don't sign the checks yourself. You don't have time for that. Checks, 5,000, 2 signatures, 5,000 above, 3 signatures. There's ways of guarding against them taking the money, but they'll still find a way to get the money. And so she never thought that anybody would take money from her. She's from Texas, all-state basketball player, blah, blah. And so that's why she sweeps the accounts now. And but if you have good systems and procedures in place, you don't have to do that. But I haven't signed a check in 40 years, maybe. I haven't paid for anything with a credit card in maybe 25 years. When I'm out and traveling, Sally gives me 20 pounds when I'm in England, the UK, in case I get lost or something. And she gives me only $20, which is less money when I'm in New York or LA, $20. That's it. I don't carry money. And I normally forget the 20 pounds and the $20. But that's what she means by sweeping the accounts. And when she was talking about ethnicities, that was her politically correct way that black, brown, yellow people will steal from you. And you have to be careful. Also white. Be careful. She said, know the ethnicities in the background. That was her politically correct way. She said, everybody will steal from you. Which is fucking 1,000% true. 1,000. Sally and I made more money than God when we were in Asia for 13 years. But it was hard fucking work. Hard fucking work.